Hey everybody, it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I am sneaking in here to do a video for White Rose Crafts featuring the May Barista Blend subscription kit. It's the first of my three-part series of 5 fast cards where I create 5 fast cards using only the things from the kit and some A2 card frames and that colored cardstock that, is for my personal collection and some glue from my personal collection. So, the basics are mine, the rest are the kit's. To start off for card 1, I'm doing a super easy card, but with layers that I think are really exciting. I thought it seemed only appropriate to make the very first card I make from this super cool coffee themed kit to be the coffee bean paper. Now I will tell you, there's every instinct in my body says hoard the paper, because it's double-sided paper, meaning if I use one side I lose the other side. I hate that. But that bead paper is just too cute not to use, so I sucked it up and used it. I also pulled out 2 of the mulberry paper die-cut hearts that are included in the kit and added them to the corner, and I felt the card needed just a little something more, so I pulled out some stickers from the included 12x12 Echo Park sticker sheet and added just a couple more details to the card. If you missed the unboxing of this very coffee-fueled kit, I will include a link right up here in the corner. Make sure you check out all the incredible things that are in the kit. I didn't even begin to use the amount of stuff that's in this kit. It is such a full kit. It is truly a bang for your buck. For my second card, I pulled out some of the 12x12 brown textured cardstock that's in the kit and trimmed it down to 4x5.25 inches. And then took a piece of printed paper and some of the mulberry paper to create a nice layered dimensional look that's kind of feminine yet coffee themed. I wanted a much more organic edge to this mulberry paper, and one of the cool things about mulberry paper, if you're not familiar with it, is if you add water to it, you can actually pull the fibers apart, leaving this really organic, beautifully textured edging. So I added it to the side of my printed paper and then trimmed off the excess. And then I had this crazy idea, what if that part of the card popped up a little bit? So I pulled out some dimensional tape and added it just to that edge with the mulberry paper, and then on the other side added regular score tape. I added the score tape despite there being already adhesive to it because I really wanted it to hold. In the pictures you don't see the 3-dimensional effect of this card. However, in real life it's really cool because it goes from smooth to raised to smooth again because I was able to adhere the mulberry paper back to the brown cardstock. I considered for a second using that edging, but in the end was like, the black's going to throw off the vibe of this card. So I just adhered it down to my A2 card frame. Then I took a tag from the random assortment of Echo Park ephemera and grabbed a piece of white plain ribbon. And then I realized the white wasn't going to work. There was no actual white in the card. So using my frayed burlap distress oxide, I just ran the random piece of white ribbon through the frayed burlap. And then decided maybe I should edge up the tag and kind of distress it too, because the card's kind of got, I don't want to insult my grandma, but a grandma-y feel to it. So that slightly distressed edge really seemed to be an effective tool. I added a little bit of score tape to one side, the side that would be up on the raised bit, and a little bit of dimensional tape to the part that would be falling off, so that the tag was actually laying flat and not curved in any way. And like I said, you really can't see how cool the card ended up being, but it did. I realized the bottom corner probably could use a little adhesive, so I added it. And then I didn't want my ribbon to actually stand up, so with a little glossy accents, I just tucked down that ribbon, and it's actually adhered to the card, but it works. My camera cut off, but I did add some of the Nuvo drops included with the card kit, and there you go, there's your second card, and I really think this one ended up being pretty. For my third card, I again just wanted to layer some papers together and one of the ephemera pieces to make a really simple, fast card. I took the washi tape that's included in the kit and added it to the base printed paper, which is this cool coffee cup themed black and white paper. And I actually had trimmed up some of the leftover paper from my previous card to put the ephemera on, and I really love how everything in this collection goes together. I'm using the black and white paper, I'm using the floral paper, I'm using the coffee beans, and it all just coordinates gorgeously. Again, I just added some of this Nuvo drops here in the caramel color, just because I like the accent that it has. Like I said, super simple card, but one you'd happily give a friend or a neighbor. For card 4, I wanted to break out the stamp set that's included. This is a full stamp set from Little Acres. If you're not aware, White Rose Crafts is now the exclusive vendor of Little Acre stamps. And their Moo Brew coffee set is just the cutest thing. It's got the cow. It's got cow-themed coffee sentiment. It's got cow-themed coffee sentiments. Come on, like how cool is that? So I stamped out the image and pulled out my Copic markers and colored in our little cow friend. Kind of debated how to color in his glasses, but in the end I realized you'd see his cow color through the glasses, so I added it too, and was like, maybe he should have a little white spot. So I added that as well, or I guess I left that vacant. And I just quickly colored up this image. You'll notice the coloring is really simple. I will tell you, at this time, the only place to get the Moo Brew stamp set from Little Acres is in the Barista Blend monthly kit. They are not available anywhere else at the moment. So if you want this stamp set, and trust me, you do. It's really cute. It's got some really fun sentiments, including this happiness is a cow feast shared with a good friend. All of the coffee themes have cow puns. It's really kind of fun. So I am predicting this kit is going to sell out super fast. It is, as of loading this, it's only in pre-sales, so it will go officially on sale May 1st, but you can pre-order it now, and it will ship on May 1st. I don't think there'll be any left when May 1st comes around, so if you're contemplating getting this kit, do it fast, because the coffee-themed extravaganza that is this kit, I think, is just going to fly off the shelves. There's so much you can do with this. I honestly am playing with the kit thinking there's going to be more than 15 cards I want to make. I'm going to end up using every last scrap of whatever in the kit because I'm so excited to play with it. So make sure you stay tuned to see all that I do with this kit, including today's 5 fast cards. And let me let you in on a little secret. There's a bonus card even today, because I wasn't done playing with the kit when I finished making 5 cards. I made one more, just, like the cherry on top of a good sundae. I did decide to go ahead and take my Copic marker and run it around the edges of this piece of cardstock, just so it had a bit of that kind of caramel color to it. And then I decided to do the same thing with this check plaid. Is it plaid? Is it gingham? With this piece of paper. And you see the beautiful paper I'm losing on the back. I really hate double-sided paper. It makes things very hard for me because I want to use every bit of paper. I adhere everything to my A2 card frame and decided that the Copic colored stamped image, focal image, needed some black backing itself. So I just adhered it onto a scrap of black cardstock and trimmed it down, getting better at trimming. It's a skill I did not have. I'm now acquiring it. I don't normally do this, but this card really felt like the focal image should be popped up with some dimensional tape, so I did it. And alas, there we go. That's how simple I kept the card, except for I realized I had these super cute paper clips, and I knew because of how I added the dimensional tape, I could tuck one in there, so I went for good measure just to tuck that little card in. Here's card 5. I went with a coffee donut theme for this card. And you're going to get to watch me make a huge mistake right here. I trimmed everything up. I was like, okay, this piece of green paper from that is actually the back of the coffee-themed donut paper. I was like, great, I'll stamp out one of my cow sentiments from my stamp set, which I thought would be really fun. And realized I had a little mistake, and voila, I stamped it horribly. So I used the other scrap of green paper, which wasn't as long. And because I'm a doofus, I didn't clean my ink pad, but I stamped it again because I was frustrated and I wanted that green paper in front of or on top of the printed paper. So it's not as long as it had been, but oh well, I'll live. I stamped out and fussy cut out the cow image because it's a cow drinking coffee. And tucked him into the corner of my paper. I knew I was going to have him hanging off the edge, so I trimmed my... I knew I needed to adhere him really well. I should have probably used glue. The tape worked. The tape worked great. I just had to, like, trim the tape in funny ways and put... I made it harder on myself. That's what I'm saying is I didn't work smarter, I worked harder. And I realized I wanted to put a strip of craft paper onto it, but forgot to do it, so now here I am, like, tucking it in imaginary. Work smarter, not harder, because otherwise you're me. I did trim the cow off, and in hindsight, I could have probably just left him hanging there because the page is really small. Oh well. I like it. I like him. He's fun. I also didn't want to add any color to the cow because, yeah, that was a choice, and I made it, and I like it. Still wish I had the original piece of long green paper, but I can't stamp even with a stamping tool. But look, I'm learning to cut. Yay! To finish this card up, I added the sentiment on, which again is all kinds of cow coffee puns, which is fun. And his glasses needed a little bit of extra shine because glass shines. So I added the glossy accent to it, and then I realized in hindsight I should probably cover at least the coffee mug to match the green and the paper. So I pulled out some Copics and just quickly added a little bit of Copic coloring just to finish the card off. But I left the cow white because that was the plan. It was a good one, and look how cute he is. He just pops right off the page there. And there you go. There's the 5th card. Now, I let you on a little secret. If you've made it this long in the video, you get to enjoy the secret. I'm actually not going to post this card on my blog. You had to see the bonus card. You have to watch the full video. I'm trying something. Probably won't work, but let's see how many people make it to this part. I'm using one of the card frames included in the kit. It is a square white Kaiser Craft card. It has a matching envelope, which I love. And I took one of the coffee grinders stamp images from the Moo Brew stamp set, and I just stamped it out to make my own printed paper. And then I distressed the edges because, yeah. The envelope I gave the same treatment to just by distressing one corner and stamping out the coffee grinder. And doing the same thing with the flap of the envelope because fun, right? The card needed, actually I think the card could have worked on its own just like that, but I pulled one of the stickers from the sticker sheet and added it to the card. Now, it ended up looking a little flat, so I pulled out my distress marker and vintage photo and just very carefully outlined the image. So it kind of got grounded into the work and looked like, not like I just stuck a sticker onto the card. And I think just that outline alone, so powerful. It needed just a little bit more, so I pulled out one of the pieces of ephemera, distressed it a little bit with some vintage photo ink, and using 3-dimensional tape, popped it up. I'm pausing because you'll see me make a mistake. I don't make a mistake, I just change my mind. I start to put it down here, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it, and was able to pull it up and change positions. So there's our bonus card for today with its coordinating envelope. Thank you so much for peeking into the 5 fast cards featuring the May Barista Blend subscription kit from White Rose Crafts. There's 2 more videos in this series, so make sure you tune back in to catch up on all that is going on. And until then, happy crafting.